doing all the best you can to save the environment. No one has to tell you. You are very plastic sensitive. You will not use as much of plastic as we were using. Environmental sensitive, reduce, reuse, all that must have grinded your brains. I'll tell you how to get a job. How to get a job using all this stuff is what I want. Because you must have got all this is SDG Gyan. And if someone can answer me, what is one carbon credit equal to? You know what is a carbon credit? Anyone? Just lift your hand. Carbon credit. See, no one is lifting the hand. No one knows what is a carbon credit? What is one carbon credit equal to? Super. 1 ton of carbon dioxide. Super. 1 ton of carbon dioxide are equivalent to 1 ton of any other gas which is equivalent to 1 ton of carbon dioxide. And people who have polluting the environment, like the thermal plants or anyone, they buy these credits. They are buying it with guilt, saying that I'm releasing so much of carbon, so I buy this credit. So please, so when you go for a job, I'm sure there are many people who are in final year, who are in first year. So you first find out what is carbon neutral, and what Arun sir was telling is close to what is called as circular economy. So look it up, write it down. Circular economy. Scope 1, Scope 2, Scope 3. Scope 1 is direct. Scope 2 is indirect. Scope 3 is all which is not Scope 1 and 2. Or all who are the consumers who are making the carbon while using that product. That is the scope 3. If I'm driving a car, then I am in part of Scope 3. The manufacturer is in Scope 1. The vendors are in Scope 2. Okay? So you should understand this. You can Google all these things. You find out what is carbon neutral. How can someone be carbon neutral at all? And why did I bring this topic of carbon credit is, today carbon credit is entering the balance sheets. In our time, our balance sheets we used to call it BS. BS has a very, so we used to call it balance sheet, which had assets, liabilities. And what else? What are the other two components? Can you please tell me? Revenue and expenses. Revenue and expenses. You know what is income? Income. Anything which comes inside my company is income. Anything which goes out is expense. What is left is a profit. You should know that. When someone asks you, what does your balance sheet have? It has 4 components. Assets, liabilities, expenses, and revenue and expenses. It is good. Anyone knows what is an EBITDA? These are the interview questions. Finance, MBA. Anyway, you look it up, all these things. Zero economy, carbon credits, carbon markets. How does carbon markets work? How can someone buy it? Does a carbon credit has a fixed value, or does it change? Is there an exchange process where someone buys it? It is just like a share market, actually. People who are producing carbon and people who are not producing carbon just buy these credits from left to right. So this is one thing. And I actually have a very practical project. If one of your 1 or 2, 3 colleges in Karnataka can do a real practical project which you can document, leave it as a digital legacy, is take the river Kaveri. Okay, I'm sure there are some, for instance, Sudan, Swaziland, but you should know what is Kaveri if you are here. And I'm sure some of you may understand Kannada as well from Sudan and Swaziland. Kaveri is a river. So in Karnataka, for some of you don't know, Take this Kaveri from where it starts, Bagmandla, Mula place where it starts. Try to, digitally mark on the map as Kaveri flows. As Kaveri flows, it picks up. What does it pick up? Pollutants, correct? So as Father Xavier said, there is one pollutant in water which is extremely dangerous. What is it? Very good. Very good. Arsenic. One more. Huh? Fluorides and chlorides. Good. One more. Huh? No, no, no. We'll die. Lead. Yes, lead little. One more. Huh? Asbestos. Cadmium. No. Asbestos. So you find out all the colleges which are on the path of Kaveri from wherever it starts, Talakaveri, and where it ends somewhere in Tamil Nadu. Find all the colleges, write to them, find out this composition of all this cadmium. I'm sorry, you have made me cadmium included into arsenic. Actually, urea is also included in water. So it will start with zero arsenic. It will start with zero sludge. It will start with zero plastic, and it starts picking up everything. So in a map, in a Google map, digitally get this information from those schools and colleges. They should go find out, get a sample, find out how much of arsenic is there, and digitally mark it along and see how it starts getting polluted. Then at some point of time, self-heals it, and again gets polluted, self-heals it, and then how much are we pushing it back into the sea. Okay, this is a project which you can do. You can also, while you are doing this chemical stuff, you will also learn a lot of things as to how you can delegate work, how you can ask some colleges to, how to write to them officially, how to ask them for these things. How can they take that sample, go to a chemical lab or any other lab, find out these parameters for say 100 ml. You take 100 ml or 1 liter, which is 1000 ml. Find out these chemicals, put it onto the map. Then when that map is there digitally, your children or grandchildren will go back to that map and say, my mom or grandmom had this much of less pollutant, and things have improved. I think things will improve, or things have deteriorated. So you will have a digital benchmark across the path the Kaveri is flowing, and it will be a well documented stuff. You can do all that stuff. Anyone who is dealing with environmental sciences and the SGU guys and others as well. While you are doing this chemical stuff, also do the ecology around it. What were the birds? What were the trees which were there? It's very difficult to find out the breadth. If you can find out the breadth, it is very seasonal. The breadth shrinks and becomes big. So if you can get that also and document it, so most of the rivers or all the rivers are Mate, so Kaveri Mate will be happy that it has been well documented. Apart from that, the skills which I have told you, you should know all this. You should know what is carbon credits and how it's entering into balance sheets. And if someone asks this question, or if you know this question, try to make them ask you that question. They ask something, you answer that, and say, by the way, I was told that carbon credits are getting into balance sheet. Is it true? I want to know that. In an interview, if you know that, that is how you direct the question, whatever question, to a question which you know. One of the skills of interview. People should be very good in Excel, because all this data which you are doing, you should know, Excel, for especially MBA people, Excel is a good skill which you have to pick up. There are thousands of videos in internet to pick up Excel. And pick up foreign languages with your friends. Don't talk in Kannada. I'm just joking. But you should pick up foreign languages, because now there is a lot of multinationals coming in. And so I was telling about 5 years back, anyone who knew Chinese would get into a very good American company. Because Americans doesn't want to go to China and monitor those offices. those uh, uh, lines, those production lines. So if anyone would ask me, 5, 10 years ago, I remember I was talking one such thing, and people used to ask me, what language should I learn? And I used to say Chinese. And they inevitably used to get good jobs in China, Shanghai, Beijing. Shanghai is, of course, their a financial capital like our Bombay. So you have heard so many bad things about China, but today if China shuts down, I was told the world will shut down. Am I right? We can't afford anything without China. All our spoons, all our furnitures, everything is done